Many types of blockchain projects offer decentralized solutions, but there's hardly any with infrastructure like Arweave's. But what's so special about Arweave? This video will show you all there is to know about Arweave and why it's a coin you can't afford to miss out on. What's Arweave? We often wonder how personal data is retained without exposure to those who would use it for selfish reasons. This isn't possible with the centralized structure of institutions that back some of the digital infrastructures we use on the internet. Blockchain technology makes it possible for us to achieve information permanence. Still, it comes at a high cost when considering the Ethereum and Bitcoin networks' transaction fees and energy usage. The essence of Arweave is to become the decentralized structure that will make the data storage process more affordable and scalable. Arweave's protocol is a new model of the traditional web, which according to their site is known as Permaweb. This web version enables developers and users to store and trace information on the network. It uses nodes that are paid in the Arweave token, R. R is given as an incentive to nodes that play the data stores provider's role. They're an important part of the project's architecture. R's Blockweave architecture has stood out from existing decentralized storage network options. It's a highly secure data storage mechanism for anyone, not just developers, but activists and journalists alike. It's trusted among its users because it's sustainable and transparent. This is why users can freely replicate and save information permanently. How does Arweave work? To better understand Arweave's ecosystem, you must imagine someone adding data to the network. The user then deposits an amount in R, which is used as payment for data storage. The specific storage that the user paid for is owned by storage owners. This relates to how stake pools are coordinated. Several users create a pool by contributing their tokens to form one large collective. These users who own the storage earn interest from the principal paid by the end user of the storage hard drive. So the same rule applies to Arweave's data storage. The interest is allowed to accrue over time, and those who collectively own the storage will get profits for their contribution to the network. The Permaweb can be abused by those who mean to store data. Hence, there's a modicum to ensure that the kind of content being pushed is well moderated. Without that, the system's likely to fail without this regulation. Therefore, when a user proposes a transaction to the network, Arweave's data store owners will attempt to recreate the transaction's data. If there's any cause to believe that the content is inappropriate and thus should not be duplicated, they have the power to deny such a transaction. As a user, you can also submit a request via their own websites or landing pages if there's an inappropriate content on the Permaweb. To understand Permaweb, I must relate to you the benefits that Permaweb offers over the regular internet. The internet is not an omnipotent store of information that goes on forever that you usually think it is. The information you submit via websites, apps, and media that make up the internet's content is either altered, withdrawn, or completely removed, so no piece of information actually lasts forever. Data storage on the internet is controlled by a centralized agency body that monitors our access to apps and websites. They can grant and revoke your access to this data storage at will. Such data can be manipulated or censored. If a project runs out of funding, the app or website can disappear if it can no longer be maintained, and the library of data they hold vanishes. This is the central problem that Arweave aims to solve. With Permaweb, the internet's cost can be reduced, data storage is more resilient, and more information is preserved. Arweave's Permaweb is a decentralized storage network that links people with available computer disk space with those who need it. On the Permaweb, numerous programs have already been developed, such as Arweave Web Archive, which enables you to archive web pages, tokens created on the Arweave platform that share dividends produced using decentralized applications are profit-sharing tokens. Additionally, Arweave can store non-fungible tokens indefinitely, NFTs. Other initiatives include Verto, a decentralized trading platform where you can buy and sell profit-sharing tokens, and Gitopia, which lets you keep your code on the blockchain. Permaweb underpins the Blockweave, a blockchain-like data structure which powers Arweave. In Permaweb, you have data, apps, and websites to become a decentralized store of information with the advantage of longevity, which you can use via your regular internet browsers. Users can easily access it, making it a more attractive option. At the center of Arweave's function is the native Arweave token, which powers the Arweave's Blockweave. How Blockweave powers Arweave. Like the blockchain networks you're familiar with, Blockweave is a collection of blocks. The blocks contain data which enables you to access apps and websites on the Permaweb. The new blocks in the blockchain are connected to the block that precedes it and those that succeed it in the chain. But Blockweave's architecture makes use of a recall block. Every new transaction is linked to the block that follows it, while it's linked to two previous blocks. The previous blocks are of two kinds: the immediately past block and another block registered in the history of Blockweave, which is the recall block. The recall block is the key to Arweave's unique consensus, the proof of access known as POA. Blockweave is operated by miners who provide disk storage and replicate data stored in the network in their hard drive. Miners do this to earn R tokens for their contributions. Each miner must provide secure cryptographic proof that they have access to Blockweave's recall block, which is why it's called proof of access. So, POA makes long-term data storage more interesting by incentivizing miners who access older, random blocks saved in Blockweave's history. What results is the production of new blocks and miners. Also, the system offers incentives to miners who store blocks that are not widely replicated. Fewer miners can compete for the reward if a rare recall block is selected, as very few have access to the block. So, if you store extremely rare blocks, you get a larger reward over time. Miners don't have to store every data they can find. Arweave allows users to choose the type of transactions or blocks to store. They can also set the policies that will regulate the type of data stored by each miner, so they cannot store data anyhow. The submitted data is evaluated against each miner's content policies, and if the data contains prohibited content, it will not be accepted into the pool. This is how miners actively participate in the governance of the economy Arweave. For every data stored in the Blockweave, each user must pay a fee in R tokens. The tokens are received in exchange for mining new blocks and ultimately storing data. This makes it seem like all the transaction fees are used as mining rewards, but that's not the case. The first block mine on Arweave produced 55 million R tokens, and when mining action continued, more than 11 million tokens were given to miners as rewards for mining. Most of the transaction fees are allocated to a storage endowment. The endowment is released to miners gradually. The structure of incentives effectively manages the token's volatility, ensuring that the consensus remains viable for a long time. This may speak for its price in the future as well. Arweave's price history. The R token first gained traction in May 2020. Its price rocketed from 69 cents on May 29th to $7.56 on August 29th, an increase of more than tenfold in 3 months. But after that, by September 22nd, the cost had dropped to $2.88. In terms of its price history, 2020 was a modest year for R token's price. Is Arweave worth your investment? Yes, at the time of recording, R trades at $9.71 per token. The Arweave project currently has a large expert and hobbyist following. As a result, the following are a few of those experts' R estimates that were determined by looking at its historical prices. According to Wallet Investor, our price forecast indicates that the price of Arweave will increase to $94.59 over the following 12 months. The revenue is anticipated to be roughly 709.33% within a 5-year profitable investment. Wallet Investor specialists predict that your present $100 investment might be worth up to $809.33 in 2027. On the other side, Trading Beast forecasts that the price of Arweave will rise to $36.43 by January 2023. The anticipated minimum price is $30.97, and the maximum predicted price is $45.54. Arweave is a good choice for investments. However, the extreme volatility of the cryptocurrency market may frighten some investors into selling Arweave if a decline occurs. But if you do due diligence and prepare to buy R tokens as an investment vehicle, Arweave might make a good long-term investment choice if you purchase it at the right price. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I also hope that you have learned something. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. See you in the next one.